This is a MapleSoft digital education podcast.
So I'm here today with Cary Johnson from BYU. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the podcast. So maybe a place to start. Can you just give us a brief history of what your position is and sort of how you got there?
You bet. So I am the Online Technical Operations Director at BYU Idaho, and I've been at BYU Idaho now for just over 4 years. My position is a fairly new position. It's one that was created about just over, a year and a half ago. And the position is to basically work on the online delivery of our online classes. And that includes the learning management system and any technologies that we integrate into that learning management system.
So other than LMSs, what other types of technologies do you normally integrate?
Yeah, so we work a lot with publisher content. We work with Maple TA. We have our content management system, a video streaming platform that we've also integrated.
And your goal is to be able to deliver courses all over the world?
Yes.
I think you have a large number, 400 or 500 locations that you're...
We do. We have about 450 to 500 locations where we deliver. And our goal is to deliver everywhere that the church is organized in some way.
Okay. And is that a full set of courses, or?
So our program delivery is, we try to keep our online offerings fairly limited so that we can leverage our fill rate. We want to be able to fill all of our courses so that we don't have maybe one or two sections. We want to leverage being able to have multiple sections of one course. So our offerings are limited, and those offerings are also limited on helping students to get a job right away. So we've got I guess we've kind of flipped our educational model in some ways, in that we want students to get certificates, but those certificates are stackable. So a certificate is 5 classes, and then if you get another 5 classes and another 5 classes, then you can get an associate's degree. And so we want them to focus on job skills, and then if they want to or need to be able to get a bachelor's degree, then they take their foundations courses on top of their certificates.
That's sort of refreshing that you're actually preparing them for a particular purpose. I do agree with it. Education, it's wonderful to have it to improve your life and make you a better functioning human being. But especially in this day and age, to actually focus on an end result, I find that refreshing. A great way of going. And what do you mean by fill? Like you said, what constitutes a course being
filled?
Why is there a maximum?
So at our university, it's really important that we keep the number of students relatively small. So we've got section sizes up to about 50 students, anywhere from 25 to 50 students, but we try to keep them capped a little bit higher. In our online courses, our instructors don't develop their own content. We develop the content with an online instructional designer and a campus course lead. And then we deliver multiple sections of that course. So we want to fill as many sections as we possibly can so that we can build efficiency, I guess, into our system.
Now, these are online courses, so they're digital courses.
Correct.
So in theory, you could have a large number of students maintained by the same number of instructors, all right?
Actually, no, because we want our instructors to build relationships with the students.
Okay.
And so that's one of the hallmarks, I think, of BYU Idaho, is what we call the spirit of RICS. And that spirit of RICS is really that there is a mentoring and loving relationship between an instructor and their student. So we want them to know them. We want them to know them by name and know their lives and how they can help shape their experience.
That sounds wonderful. I relate it back to my engineering school. We had classes of, I think, 400 students. And I remember one time the professor actually called me by name, and I almost died. The fact that he knew me, I thought, whoa, I must be in trouble. I think that's wonderful. So what technologies have worked for you, and what are the successes and what are the failures?
I think the successful technologies that we're using are those that are easy for our students and our faculty to learn and to use.
Mm-hmm.
And
you said, just to make sure I understand, that you have your course development is one group, and the people that deliver the courses are not necessarily the authors.
Correct.
Okay.
Matter of fact, almost never.
Okay.
Only once in a while, I guess I should say. Once in a while, we have our campus faculty members who develop the courses actually teach them. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, they are taught by remote adjunct faculty. So we've got 27 states that we're able to hire instructors in, and they are master's level, typically, instructors, and they're able to deliver from remote locations.
And then how do they provide you feedback on the materials? Like, what's your feedback or improvement loop?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, our remote adjunct faculty, as they're teaching the course, if they find problems in the course, then they'll often send in a request, either for like a help request ticket or an enhancement ticket. And then what we've got in our model is a course council model. So we work with our campus course lead, with an online course representative, and our online course designer. And so they together constitute the online course council, and they make decisions regarding the class. And then they take the recommendations that have come in by faculty who are teaching it, and they prioritize those and say, okay, these fit together or these fit together. And then they're able to make decisions about the ongoing future of that course and how to improve that course. We also are working a lot with our data. So we're being able to pull in data from multiple sources on our courses and use that data to help drive decisions. So often if we have courses that are underperforming, we'll operationalize a project on that course to say, okay, what are the areas where this course needs to improve? And then we'll do an improvement project on the course, and then run the course again, and then reiterate and get feedback again.
Well, yeah, it must be. I can see that you have a very rich data set, especially you have like 500 locations. Mm-hmm. Like, do you find that there's much? Like, do you ever have a course that operates really well in, 80% of your locations, and bombs in other locations?
We do. And I think that with our Pathway Worldwide organization, that's one area that they're really looking, is to determine what different courses and what different programs are going to work well in different areas of the world.
And so what would your guidelines be? Like, what works between North America and Europe and Africa? I mean, like, are there like any systematic changes that you try to make to your content?
I think what we look at is, I think more than anything else, how can we streamline and simplify and standardize? Okay. And so the more that we are able to do that, the better experience students have overall. As we look at, our different programs, even within a program, if we can standardize within a program where the courses look, feel, function the same, then students have a better experience overall.
And what about, do you have targets for minimizing dropout rate or increasing completion rate, however you measure it?
Yes, we do have targets. I don't really know. Another team handles that, so I don't really know what they are. Right. But I will say that we are focusing a lot on mentoring right now. We're testing out some different models and different software to be able to help us to understand and document that student experience, and to flag students who may be struggling. Yes. To be able to reach out to them and provide, okay, this student needs additional help in tutoring, or, oh, this student has a crisis in their family, let's get some help involved there.
I know we've done quite a bit of work trying to identify what we call learning breakdowns, and sometimes you're right, it isn't to do with the materials, but we try to automatically be able to flag people that have changed their status. Yes. So just like to flag that, hey, more attention should be paid here. So, what other? I mean, what technology? I mean, how much do you have enough data now? Like, are you gathering enough data, like as much as you can consume and make use of, or is there areas that you would like to know more? I mean, if you look at a cohort going through your system, do you have enough data, or is it still building?
I'd say we're still building our data sets, but I think we're in a much better place today than we were even a year and a half ago. I feel like we've been able to start pulling a lot more data from our learning management system and other systems that we are integrated in. We're also able to pull in any survey results. We're able to pull in grade results and be able to consolidate all of that in our data warehouse to be able to provide a clear picture of what's happening.
Whether it's improving or like increasing or decreasing. Very good. So BYU, I mean, it's interesting that you're trying to become an expert. I mean, not trying. You have become online education experts on a worldwide basis. Now, do you do it in multiple languages as well, or is it all in English?
It's all in English.
Yeah.
And I think as we've looked across the board, at our student population especially, if they can develop in English, often that gives them an edge in their jobs.
Yeah.
So maybe their family, one example that I often hear is their family's worked in the coal mine for forever. And then we have a student who's able to learn English, and now they're able to work in the office instead. And that allows them a little more stability, a little more flexibility in the times that they work, so that they can be there for their families and in the community.
And do you offer courses for English as a second language?
We're working on that.
Yeah.
That's definitely an area of focus. We've got a collaborative effort between BYU Hawaii and BYU Idaho and the church itself, our self-reliant services, to be able to develop an English language program.
Yeah, I think that'd be wonderful.
We're excited about that.
And that's your background as well, right?
It is. Yeah. It's been a fun project to watch.
So what's next? What's in the future? Like, what are you excited about next year, or any new pieces of technology that you plan to be implementing?
That's a great question. We're always looking at kind of the next frontiers on what technology is available. I think as we've looked at things over the last little while, we want to simplify. We have a great need to simplify for our student population as we roll out Pathway Worldwide and help roll out that organization. We really want to focus on simplification and streamlining. And we feel like that will help move the work forward in a little more, I guess, in a more streamlined way.
Now you make a lot of use of online, like immediate question generation and online testing. Is that an important component?
It is. It really is.
And how long have you had it? So how many years have you been able to do online testing? Yeah, your inline online testing.
We've actually built online testing since the foundation of our online programs. Okay. So since we started our online and pathway programs in about 2009, we've had a lot of online testing. I think we have one area that we have had some concerns is with proctoring and doing online proctoring, and so that's an area that we've been working on over the last year.
Do you have any proctoring solutions? I mean, it's a common problem.
We're working with Proctorio right now and finding some good success with it.
Yeah, I know we've experimented with keyboard signatures and various video technologies, but it's definitely an unsolved problem at this stage.
Yeah.
So anything else that you can tell us about BYU that we should know before we conclude?
I think BYUI focuses a lot on, I guess, the everyday student. We want to focus on those students who maybe have not had a great opportunity for education in the past, and to provide an experience for them to be successful, and through that education to be able to improve their communities and where they live.
And how many students do come to Idaho for? I mean, like, what is I'm not sure what the right term is. Once they're engaged in your online outreach, if that's the right term, what percentage of your students are come through your online program?
That's a great question. So you mean those that actually physically come to campus?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but of the physical on-campus students, what percentage just started, like in the normal way versus coming through your program, your online program?
Do you know what? I really don't have any data on that to really answer that question. Sorry. I would say it's fairly small.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our online students typically do stay in their home areas.
And they will then graduate and get their certificates or their degree in there.
They will.
Okay, very good. No, it sounds like a wonderful service. I think you're using digital education, online education, exactly what it should be used for. So congratulations.
Thank you.